So right here I have the MPC One, and if you guys don't know yet, the MPC is my favorite sampler. This is the machine that I use the most when it comes down to creating music. I'm new to this newer MPC workflow. I come from the 2000 XL. Just about 2 years ago, I picked up the MPC One, and when I started exploring the MPC One, I never looked back. Now, I'm gonna go over 5 of my favorite tools within the Grid View editor. A lot of these tools, most of you guys might know these already, but if you're just getting started with the MPC, I'm sure this is gonna be helpful. Right here, I have a beat, I have drums and a sample, but these drums, I don't think I have hi-hats laid down on these drums yet. I'm gonna go ahead and lay down some hi-hats off quantized, so just kind of my natural groove, but I'm sure I'm going to have some imperfections, and I'm going to show you how fun and easy it is to nudge over just one hit without having to stick to a certain grid value. So that's what I got going on right there, but I'm going to go ahead and add this hi-hat and just kind of throw that on top of those drums. By the way, if you guys like how these drums sound, this is part of my new sample pack. So if you guys are interested, link down in the description. So if you want to get off quantize, you could hold down shift and hit TC. Right here, TC is blinking red. Once I hit shift TC, it's no longer in red. That's in quantize, that's off quantize. So let's go ahead and lay down these hi-hats. Okay, so right here we have a performance. I feel good with it, but there's certain hits that are a little too off. I want to keep that performance, but I just want to nudge over certain hits. The cool thing about this grid view, I can go in here, and if I have, you see these top 4 different settings. This is your pencil tool, which I never use, but if you guys want to add certain hi-hats, you guys can just poke your finger right there and it will add a note. You got your erase tool, which if you want to just erase one of these notes, you could go ahead and do that. You got your selector, which this is one of my most used right here because this will allow you to select certain notes or certain parts of your performance. And then you got your zoom tool, which this obviously will allow you to zoom in or zoom out. So I want to zoom in towards the end. And right here at the end, I think it was in the last bar where I have, I'm pretty off. I want to go ahead and select with the selector just this last hit right here. And now that I have that selected, I want to nudge over and I don't want it to snap to a certain grid value. I want it to nudge over freely. Right here, I want to nudge over a note, so I'm going to stay with nudge. And since we have quantized turned off, I can nudge over freely and it's not sticking to no grid value. You could also hit don't snap, and don't snap will make sure it moves freely. So now if I want to just nudge it over a little to the left hand side, I can go ahead and do that. Maybe this note right here is a little too off as well. And let's hear the performance and see how everything else sounds. This one's a little too, this one right here is hitting too soon. I'm just nudging that over. As I'm playing it back, I'm listening to where I'm messing up the most. I hit stop and I fix that really quick, and then I'll just continue. All right, everything sounds pretty good. Now going over to the second favorite tool with this grid view, I go into my transpose. Transpose, what that's gonna do is if I select, let's say my kicks, this is my kick. Let's just say I chose that kick, I recorded everything. Everything is the way I want it to be. But then I'm like, you know what? I don't think I like that kick. I think I want to experiment and try a different kick. Like I have different kicks right here. Maybe this kick might work, which is in pad 1. So in order for me to select that performance, which is going to be pad 9, I select pad 9 and it will select the entire performance. Then I go to transpose, make sure transpose is selected, and I nudge down, or I go with this jog wheel down to pad 1 because this other one is in pad 1. I hit play, it keeps my same performance, and we get to audition different samples. Which I actually do not like how that sounds. So I'm going to keep it where it was, which was in pad 9. Now moving over to my third favorite thing about this grid view is being able to select certain loops within this sequence to work on. If I go from Q-Link 1 right here, if you guys see is Q-Link 1, these are going to be representing certain things with this setting. But if I go to my 4th Q-Link and this last two Q links right here, I'm able to select the start point. And with this other one, I'm able to select the end point. Right here, we only have 1 bar. It only lets you select up to 1 bar. So what that will do, let's say I have 4 bars in this sequencer, but I only want to focus on the first bar because I want to perfect that first bar. It will only loop that first bar. So as I'm listening to that first bar, maybe I can try to throw in some ghost kicks and perfect this a little bit more, or some ghost snares. There you go. And I want to try something else different on the second bar. Boom. And now I just open up my first 2 bars and I just let my whole entire loop play within the sequence. See, like that to me is so fun. Like I'm able to go into certain sections, certain bars, and just work on that. You don't have to go into detail, but if you want to, it gives you that flexibility. I do this a lot with how I build my tracks. All right, so now my 4th favorite tool with the grid view is going to be going into your automation setting right here. You go into this automation setting, it allows you to open up this little drop-down window, and right now we're on velocity. If you click velocity, you could go from velocity, probability, ratcheting, your volume. There's different options right here, but we'll actually go and start with the velocity. The reason why I like to be in velocity is because, as you guys heard, I just added some ghost kicks. As a matter of fact, I'll select the first bar, just is gonna loop the first bar. With these ghost kicks, ba-boom, ba-boom. Those ghost kicks are at full volume. If I want to add some dynamics to those kicks, so they're not all at full volume, I could easily zoom in right here into this grid editor, open this up a bit, and I will just select this ghost kick that I have right here. And since it's selected on velocity and I'm already selected in automation, I could just lower down the volume. As you guys see, the velocity volume is going down. I'm gonna put it at about 65%. And let's go to the second ghost kick and let's do the same thing. Let's lower this down at about 60 to 50. There you go. It's so easy to make these changes. Now, the reason why I feel that I stopped using a DAW is because, like I mentioned, I'm able to do the things that I would do in a DAW right here in the grid editor. Okay, so now for my 5th favorite tool here. This one's not used all the time, but this comes in handy so much. Let's just say I go to the sequence, it's only 2 bars. I'll go from 2 bars to 4 bars because I want to add to that sequence. I don't want it just to be 2 bars. So what I will usually do is come to my main page, go to this top sequence, and I'm going to double length that sequence. So now it just copies those 2 bars and duplicates it into 4 bars. So what I like to do here, again, this brings me into the workflow of like if I was working in a DAW. If I'm working in a DAW, I'm just doing clips. I'm exactly the way I'm doing it right here. And in a DAW, obviously, you could just grab this. Let's just say I have bar 1, bar 2, and bar 3. Let's just say in bar 3, I want to do something drastically different. I can go into bar 3. I'm actually going to zoom in right here just to bar 3. And I'm going to get the selector. I could just delete this whole entire bar, shift, cut. Now I can go to my loop range and just select that bar, which there's nothing in there. And let's just say I want to create a whole entire drum groove for that 3rd bar for whatever reason I would want to do that. And as you guys heard, that snare's way off. Again, I can just nudge that over. So fast, so easy. There you go. And I can add some kicks right here. And I'm just working with this 3rd bar. Let's just say I want to keep it like that. Now I can go back right here and listen to what we have. Obviously, I'm using a drums track right here, but let's just say I go into my sample. It's so different with my sample, and I have more fun with the sample view because the same thing. Let's just say I want to select a 3rd bar right here and switch things up right here with the chops. I can just select that. And then I could just open up that sequence. All right, so as you can see, some of my favorite tools within the grid view. If you guys found some value from this video, make sure you guys give it a thumbs up. And also, if you're new to this channel, make sure you subscribe to this channel for more content like this. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'll catch y'all on our next video. Peace.